Yeah, I've played a lot of tables. So last night, I think it was 12 tables at a time. Maybe not last night, Sunday.
Yeah,
But
Sunday, yeah.
it's Sunday. Maybe 9 tables. But it's kind of peaks at 12 for a little bit, but 9 usually. Around that, like it's hard to say no.
Welcome back to a new episode of the Swedest Deal. This time I'm talking to Padraig O'Neill, an Irishman who managed to win the EPT in Prague in December of 2023. Padraig has been around for quite a while and knows a lot of people in the business, but had this really big cash there, of course, over €1 million in the first prize, even if he tried to make a deal with Norwegian John Kyte heads up. This episode is presented by Juicy Steaks Poker. Please enjoy. So it's time for this talk on the Swedest Deal. I have a new guest, which I'm very thrilled about talking to. His name is Padraig O'Neill. Padraig, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, where are you now?
I'm in Ireland, in the Midlands, in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, so you're from a bit of a smaller place. Most people attach Dublin to Ireland, and those who doesn't know Ireland that well, where in Ireland are you? Are you where you were born in that same village?
Yeah, I lived 20 minutes from Dublin for 10 plus years. And yeah, then I moved to the locality where I'm from, like where I grew up. I'm only 90 minutes away from Dublin, so it's Ireland small. So
Yeah,
I'm not too far away.
but it's a pretty nice place to live, isn't it?
It is. It's nice. It's quiet. It's kind of family orientated around here.
Mm. And is it a good place to be? This is a strange question, maybe, but is it a good place to be a poker player?
Yeah, like you can play anywhere. I can't play live poker. I guess I could find a pub game, but I'm not too far from Dublin to get a flight, and you can play online anywhere. The internet's good
Mm.
enough. No
Yeah,
Starlink needed.
okay. I know there's a few. I know Andy Black quite well. Done an interview with him not that long ago, and he talks about he's going to some festivals. So if you want to play live poker, where do you go?
So the Irish Poker Tour is very good. They run festivals all across Ireland. So the last one was in Galway. They run them in Killarney, in Dublin. Believe they have a 150k guarantee coming up with a 150 buy-in, which is pretty good for Ireland. And then in Dublin for the Irish Open every April, international players do come to that, and it's a good event. But there's lots of
Yeah.
things to play actually compared to a few years ago. Um, so yeah, Dublin will be the closest probably for me.
Yeah, I've been quite a few times at that Irish Open thing, and I also remember when the Norwegians invaded Ireland with a Norwegian championship. For some reason, they couldn't play at home, so everyone went to Ireland and came to
I'm
that.
aware of that championship. I used to go there. Yeah. I had lots of fun there with the Norwegian guys. 10 a.m. people were having shots, and I didn't take the shots myself now, to be honest. But it was good fun. Good
All
fun.
right, yeah. It's a crazy bunch of people. Very nice, very friendly, and they love their poker. And it's good that they came to Ireland. Then, well, anyway, so how come you started playing at all?
I started playing with friends. We were playing a under 18 football team, and we weren't allowed to drink, so we'd meet up once a week to play poker. And I didn't actually
Mhm.
enjoy it, to be honest. I was so on it, and then when I realized there was strategy behind it, then I started to get into it, and I started to like it. So when I went back to college after the summer, I was kind of watching YouTube videos of the Irish Open, the World Series, that sort of thing, and found the €20 game in my student union and started playing and got a little hooked after that.
Yeah. What is it? Do you think with you that makes you good suited for a game of poker?
Quite patient, pretty level-headed, and yeah, I like the strategy. So it's not a chore studying. I guess I play far more than I study, but I do like to if I start studying, I do like to get into it and yeah, figure things out. Like
Yeah. Most people, I think it's a mix. I think,
yeah.
you have to have a few parameters up top, and you have to have a decent mathematic mind as well, I guess, to be able. Were you good in math in school?
Up to a level, up to like 14 or 15, and then I started to struggle a little in the maths. I was good, and I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to be very good going forward, but no, I stopped around, yeah, at a good level till 14 or 15, I guess, like, and it was like
Yeah.
not so good.
Would you say? I mean, how has the online poker been for you? Have you played a lot?
Yeah, I've played since 2010. I'm still playing most of my volume online, and before EPT Prague, I made most of my money online. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's the bread and butter. It's yeah, I have to where I live. I can't play live poker really unless I travel a lot.
Right.
So I think it makes a
Mm.
lot of sense to play online.
Yeah. What kind of player are you? Because there's people like cash games or just tournaments or a mix.
Tournaments. I've played cash on apps like 2017, 2016, but tournaments, I'm 99.9% tournaments these days. Live, I've played a lot of live cash as well, but not recently, not in the last couple of years. But
Mm.
yeah, I'm a MGT player. The
Yeah.
excitement
Do
of it
you?
all.
Yeah. I understand that. I think it's good if you want to aim for some success. I think it's good to choose between, and maybe the cash bit is kind of recreational, wouldn't you say?
The cash games, they're more steady and it's, I guess, tougher. I find the tournaments more fun. That's the only reason I guess I play them. Like I've played a lot of live cash and it's the income is more steady in my opinion, but it's not as fun. For now anyway. Maybe I'll feel differently in a few years.
Yeah. I was always amazed by people being able to play many tournaments at a time or many cash game tables at a time. What kind of player are you?
Yeah, I've played a lot of tables. So last night I think it was 12 tables at a time. Maybe not last night, Sunday.
Yeah,
But
Sunday, yeah.
Sunday. Maybe 9 tables. But it's kind of peaks at 12 for a little bit, but nine usually. Around that, like it's hard to say no.
Yeah, of course. So that's good. And you try to find like a good range of different. Do you mix it up? Do you play other games than Texas Hold'em, or you stick to that?
No, I stick to Texas Hold'em. I'm boring. I tried to learn PLO, and I've studied far more PLO than played, and I just couldn't. I should play PLO, but I don't. I don't play PLO,
Why should you
unfortunately.
play piano? Because people seem to have fun.
Yes, exactly. There's more action, and in Ireland, in live cash, the games kind of stop at €2, €5 in Hold'em, but in PLO it goes way higher. So I probably should be playing a little bit of PLO, but yeah, no, I never got into it. It's hard, especially there's enough to learn in Hold'em. It's hard enough with two cards.
Yeah, of course, of course. No, I know the 5 and 6 card PLOs, which are
Yeah,
totally different game from the 4 card one, is also well, not a different game, but it's new things to learn, and
different. It's different. Yeah, yeah.
it's tough, and it's all this all-in stuff that is kind of tough to. I think it's difficult. Well, I mean, how is your situation today? Is it? Do you are you married? Do you have a kid, right?
Where's my ring? Yes, married. I have a
Well
baby
done.
boy, Fionn. He's off crash at the moment because he's sick. Yeah, 8 months is my son, so that's a big change. Being married 2 years, I guess. I don't know, something like that.
Don't say it wrong now, Padraig.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Did you marry in Dublin or in your hometown, or where did you marry?
I got married in Kildare, so it's the county. It's the area next to Dublin. Yeah. So 1 second, sorry. You're gonna have to edit this out. I'm gonna have to cough. All this marriage talk. Sorry.
Yeah. It's tough. So how long have you been together?
A long time. I think I wasn't playing poker full time when I met Kira as my wife. 2010, I guess. It was a few months before I started playing poker. I met
Mm.
her. So yeah, introduced through
So
friends and. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. I mean, that's a long time for being. You were quite young when you met, so I guess she's okay with you playing a lot of poker. She must be.
Yeah, she understands it. She doesn't know how to play. So we were at actually Juicy. Keep getting this wrong. Juicy Stakes had a game in the Caribbean, and I qualified and brought Kira. And one of the guys on the trip who also won a package, Chris, uh, he wanted to play a €300 turbo, and I didn't want to. I was having a few drinks, and he wanted to put my wife into the tournament. And I said, "That's a terrible idea." And he said, "Do you know how to play?" And she said, "Yeah, I know how to play." And he said, "What beats what? A flush or a straight?" And she got it right. And I was like, "Grand. What are blinds?" And she didn't know what blinds were. So I've kept her in the dark about how to play, but she understands it. The money the money comes in regularly enough, so she understands it. But it was new at the time. I guess back 10, 12 years ago, it would have been a bit. I don't know how she felt about it then, but she's okay now.
Yeah. Does she look sometimes when you play, or she just leave you to it?
She online. She might come in and just comment, "Oh, that's a nice hand," but I mightn't be in the hand or anything. She just see the board and she's like, "That's nice." Live, she'll be hooked to the coverage. If I'm on a live stream or something, she'll watch.
Yeah.
Mostly watch. But yeah, no, she doesn't really. She doesn't pay attention to my online play.
No, it's great. I've been with Juicy Steaks to the Caribbean. It's great that they still do that. I really like that with Juicy Steaks and those guys Hjalmar and the team there. So how was that? When was that trip and how was it?
That was 2021 or 2022. It was after COVID. It was after lockdown. Yeah, it was a great trip. I seen the package, seen the satellites, and I said to Kira, "Do you want to go here? All inclusive sounded pretty good." And the guy Danny, who I lost. No, I won heads up against. He had actually won a previous package, so I got to chat with him at the event. So there was 4 or 5 of us together, and it was just it was a good time. Chris and Tim and all the guys over at
Yeah, yeah.
Juicy Steaks. Yeah, it was great. They brought us out for dinner, and the event was good. And but it was mostly about the holiday, to be honest.
Of course,
for us.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It would be a bonus if you get a good score there as well. It's more or less an excuse to go to that lovely place, isn't it?
yeah. Imagine going on holidays, drinking cocktails, and coming back with 50,000 or something. It would have been unbelievable.
Yeah,
Didn't happen this time, but maybe next time.
yeah. I guess Kira is asking you. It's okay if you play those satellites, right?
Yes, although with Fionn, we're not going to go on that long of a flight this year. Maybe next year. Yeah, but
Cool.
yes, we'll be back. I think it was a great event.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. Okay, okay. So I guess you played for quite a while on the live tour, even if you're online results, and that's where you had your bread and butter, as they say. But when did you kind of do the transition and notice that you could really make some good scores on the live scene?
I didn't. I used to always play the cash games on the live stops because the tournaments were a bit swingy for me for the buy-ins. You could lose a lot of money pretty quick playing EPTs. So I always played 5 or 6 a year of big tournaments, but I never really played a lot of them till after lockdown. I had a bit more of a role. I decided to take a few more shots. I had my first Vegas where I played nothing but tournaments, which was like I won, but it was so swingy. It was stressful to say the least, but it was great at the same time. So I guess it was 2022. So it wasn't too long ago that I started playing a lot of tournaments live. But before that, it was only like I play Prague and I play Barcelona, and that's about it for EPTs and some Irish stops. And in Vegas, I play the main event every year. But other than that, I didn't play a ton of live tournaments, maybe 10 ish a
Mm.
year.
Yeah, you had pretty good results. Well, pretty good. Is that your best result in Vegas in the main event when you finished 258 for $47,000?
In the main events, it was I had two 6-figure scores in Vegas though in
Yeah.
2022. I had a
Yeah,
Venetian. I think it
yeah,
was
I
a
saw that.
3500. Yeah, and there's also one I got a novelty check for 100k for a mystery bounty. That doesn't show up though. It's so
That is so crazy. Well, how much was that tournament to play?
1600.
Sixteen
Yeah,
hundred,
I
and
think
you
it was
got
sixteen
the monthly check. Yeah, I read
hundred.
about that.
Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty good.
What,
That was amazing.
was that the top prize in that tournament?
Yeah, for a mystery bounty, there was two 100Ks. So I think I only had one. No, I had two bounties, but I got knocked out in like 100 plays, and I got
Yeah,
third place money or fourth place money or whatever it was. It was great.
yeah. Wow, that's a good tournament. And
Yeah,
I mean, this what they call the scratch card thing, almost like a mystery bounty, where you pick a
yeah.
card. How did it work?
I got a lot of people slagging me that my biggest result was in a mystery bounty, and it was up. I got 2 weeks later or a week later, I got a result higher, but there was so much slagging about that. Yeah, it was an envelope out of the Win does it very nicely. I don't know have you seen it, but they have a little bowl and you pick it out. You line up on breaks, but I just waited till I got knocked out and then went up. But yeah, I straight away, no messing, just straight away I got it. And
Oh,
since then, I've seen other people hit the big ones, but it's so the majority are min bounties of I don't know what the
of
minimum
course,
was, a
of
thousand
course.
or something. So most of the time, so that was my first ever bounty, and just picking it out straight away was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous. It's a
Yeah,
ridiculous amount of money for a lucky draw, but it's
yeah,
fun too. I mean, you play, and of course, if you get a result in the tournament, you get a decent paycheck anyway. But that's kind of a bonus, and that's a big bonus for you. That's cool. I was thinking, when was it? Did you have another job ever, or did you just start with poker as a working career and just stuck to that, or have you done anything else?
In college, I had part-time jobs, but no, not a full-time job. I worked in an office, so faxing and getting the sandwiches when I was in college. But other than that,
Vaccine.
yeah,
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 that's
that's
funny.
how long ago that was. Yeah, I guess I did some stuff in college, invigilating exams and supervising, but no actual full time job. No, I there was a recession back when I graduated. Most of my friends in college went back to do a different course because they couldn't. There wasn't much jobs out there, or they emigrated.
Mm.
So I just decided to take a summer tryout poker, and it worked. But I got pretty lucky, I think, in that summer for sure. That's when I got the luckiest for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I guess you need that. Maybe if it wouldn't have worked out, you might have chosen a mixed path or maybe a totally different path. Would you say? What would you do?
I'm not sure what I would have done, but I would have found a job. All my friends that studied my degree went and did teaching, or they went and did media. They did something else. They didn't. They went back and did another course. So I probably would have ended up doing that. Teacher, I'd say something like that. I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. It's always, I mean, you talk to football players or sports people. It's always good to have a plan B or something like that. And and,
Yeah,
and let's say poker dries up or just gets a Black Friday all over the world. Would say, what
yeah.
what would you do? You think you would go into teaching?
I don't know now. I'm a bit older now. I'm not sure what I do, to be honest. I think I'll be okay. I think I'll make it at the
Yeah,
poker.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
so. The plan B is kind of gone out the window at this point. But in my early 20s, yeah, I would have went back to college, or I would have done something.
Yeah,
Would have
yeah.
figured it out.
Yeah, that's good. So when was, I mean, what is the biggest, I mean, do you have specific steps through these 14 years of playing that you see that was a big step? I mean, a paycheck from a live tournament usually, or has it been specific live results that really stands out where you took another step up in the
Um,
living standards, if you know what I
oh,
mean?
living standards. Uh, I guess like 2012, 2013, I was starting to be able to make money online rather than just a little bit. And so I was more relaxed after that. I had put in the work, so I was getting some rewards. But other than that, yeah, live tournaments. COVID was pretty big when you could grind online, and there was some big scores in there that helped. But it was more slow and steady. It's the lifestyle isn't that there's not that much partying going on, and the cost of living around here isn't that much. So well, it's going up as everywhere else, but it's not that bad compared to a city.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm not sure about your. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure.
Of course, the big one. I mean, the really, really big one was just what is it now? 2 months ago
Yeah,
in Prague. It
yeah.
kind of changed your what do you call graph a bit.
Yes, yeah. I can't say online is my main source of income anymore. No, no, no. Yeah.
Wow, €1 million. Did you make deals and stuff? Can you tell me about that tournament? I mean, it's winning an EPT is like it's kind of strange.
Yeah.
How did you qualify for it online?
No, I don't really play the EPT sats. Maybe I should, but I play the Irish Open satellites. But EPTs are like they're 5:30 in, and usually maybe I could play the Sunday ones, but I haven't played them. I'm not playing them in this EPT. I would have probably, but I wasn't sure about the patches situation, so I decided not to.
Ah, right, right.
Um, yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't win my seat. I sold some percentages and just bought in, and
Hmm.
no deals. I tried to do a deal with John Kaite heads up, but I was only able to get over the line with that one. But yeah, it's a ridiculous score. Yeah,
It
ridiculous.
is. It is an amazing score. Jon Kita. I saw the events, and he was kind of an. We talked about the Norwegians before. He's kind of a. I met him many times because I worked with the Norwegians for a while. It's a special kind of. Is it cocky the right word, or is it like giving you a strong like cocky sounds so negative. I don't mean it
Yes,
in a negative way. How do you say it? With a good self-esteem, or how do you pronounce it? How would you describe Jon?
he has very good self-esteem. He believes in himself, and I don't know how to put it into words that what's a good word for it. I'm not sure. But he
What
believes in
the fuck?
himself. He
Yeah.
believes in himself, which is great as a poker player. I for sure think he thought he was the best player. Maybe not in the whole event, but when we got down to the final table, he for sure thought he was the best player. And it's a good mindset to have, for sure.
Mm.
And he's a good player. I will say that. Like he's a live guy, I think, but he is good. He's good. He's good. Very aggressive.
Yeah. And especially when you send that message out in a way, it might be an advantage, especially for people who are not that experienced and feel a bit what do we call it, antagonized or something from his appearance, and you feel that well, I can't beat him. Did he want to send that message out? Do you think?
I think so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. He non-stop talking from 16 left because I was sitting right beside him, and it was just non-stop. But some of the stuff was like, I've heard that before. It was okay for me, but I've been around the block a bit, and I think 10 years ago or 5 years ago, maybe I would have fallen for some of the stuff. But he was always, if you played a hand and he won, he kind of go, oh, you didn't bet there, or you didn't. He was
Yeah, yeah,
always
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
sowing the seeds of self doubt, but it was kind of like. Yeah, I tried to ignore some of it, but it's gamesmanship. It is what it is. It's fair enough that he did it, I guess.
Is it really? Is it? I mean, it's up to each and every one. What I mean, there's a life outside poker as well. But maybe he's a really nice guy outside the poker table.
He
Let's say
could
that.
be, yeah, yeah. I don't know him outside of poker, and you're right. I wouldn't do it if there was someone I thought was inexperienced and they played a hand bad. I'd never say it to them, and he definitely said it to me. He definitely did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the way he is. I was prepared. I was warned in advance that he would do exactly what he did to me. So it really helps actually because I was prepared. And when he first did it, I was like, I was waiting for this.
Yeah. I see. No, I know another Norwegian who's really a good player. I think who finished 10th. Is Preben Stokkan. Do you know Preben?
I don't know him, but we have mutual friends. And to be honest, I don't know him. I think I heard he's a really nice guy. But when I seen him get knocked out, I was like, that's the best player gone. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah, no, he's really good. High stakes crusher. So yeah, I've played with him a bit at the Norwegians, I think, but he's always so quiet. But we have some mutual friends. One of the guys that was on my rail, I'd say he would have been railing Preben as well.
yeah.
It was, yeah. I heard he's a nice guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not too many Swedes doing great. I mean, Anton and Tobias, and there are quite a few good Swedes there as well. And they've been around for a long time. Some of the high stakes crashers online as well. Do you know any Swedes?
I don't think so. And maybe someone might text me now and go, "What the hell?" I've played a good bit with Anton. He's like really good.
Yeah,
I think I've played a bit in Vegas and a bit online with him. But yeah, I don't know. There's loads of Swedish crushers. A few years
yeah.
ago, you were considered like the best country, was it? It was Germany, Sweden.
Yeah, per capita maybe, or something like that. I
Yeah,
mean, if you go 20 years back, there were some really strong Swedes because they were
Lena.
really early. Hmm?
Lena, is he Swedish? He is, isn't he?
Lina?
Lena online.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah. He's really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some really good guys.
What is it, Lena 900 or something like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry, I know guys by screen names sometimes
yeah,
rather than actual names.
yeah. No, no. There's quite a few good ones there. That's funny. Well, who are your best? I mean, it's difficult when you play mostly online, but of course you meet and you travel a bit together. Who are your Irish friends in the poker community?
So yeah, I've a big group actually. Daniel Wilson plays high stakes on stairs. I won't out screen names actually. And Jamie Flynn, we room a lot together in if we go to a live stop. Cottle Shine. They all play online. And then some guys in the media now. Okay, I said media, but they have their little podcast. Okay, scratch that. They have their big podcast, Doak and Lappin. I'm good friends with them. They used to stake me in 2011,
Oh,
2012
wow.
was the last time I got staked, and they were staking me, Dara Davy, the three of them. And yeah, it's all Irish guys I kind of hang out with in these trips.
Hmm.
I've definitely forgotten someone, but yeah, we room together and we just met at Irish stops, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, a few of them play high stakes online and high stakes live, I guess.
Yeah, you were the only Irish player in Prague that made it deep in that tournament. Did you have some friends on the rail?
Barely. They all went home. I had
Oh,
Daniel. I roomed with Daniel. He had to go home. He had an appointment the next day, but he was around till like four left, and we had a swap. So I was like, "Where are you going?" But on the rail, Mark McDonald was on the rail. He was under a Dublin player, and Danny Maxwell. He was working the event,
yeah, of
and
course. Danny, lovely Danny. Yeah.
yeah, Willie that works for Poker Stars. He was there, but again in a working capacity for my rail. Yeah, it was Macker. I had to ask someone to come down for a winner's photo. I was going to say Agro Santos, but I won't out his screen his actual name. But yeah, everyone had gone home or were in Vegas at the win, so my rail was depleted.
That,
Um,
that's. I mean, it's not sad. It's not sad anywhere. But sometimes you see pictures of winners' photos with like 20 friends. Everyone's like, "Yeah," and
in
you're like,
Vegas, that would have happened, I think. But I only had 12 big blinds, so there was two or three people thinking of flying over. But then when I lost my pot at the end of the day, I had 12 big blinds, so I was like, "Don't come near Prague. I'm gonna get knocked out."
"Of
So
course."
my wife would have come over if I hadn't lost at the end.
Mm. Oh, so that's pretty cool. I mean, the final table it was shown. Have you watched it? I guess you watched it afterwards.
Yeah, I watched it.
How was it to watch it in hindsight and see you play? And are you happy with the way you conducted yourself and the way you played?
I'm happy at how I conducted myself. My play, I can learn from a lot of it heads up. And up to that, I was like, right, just cut the footage there. That's a good performance. But heads up, I'm like, okay, I have stuff to learn. John was taking advantage of some of my tendencies. So it's good to learn. But yeah, overall, I was happy. I don't want to look at the chat ever again because them guys know too much. They were like, how? What did they say actually about me and John? Neither of us deserve the money because we're both so bad. And I started chuckling. They're going to be in Paris, ready to take our money. But yeah, I couldn't believe the chat. But yeah, it was good. It was good to watch back. A bit embarrassing, to be honest. I was a bit cringing at it all.
Well, if what they say, and you say, well, if I was on the rail, I would agree with them. Did you feel that?
yeah, a little bit. Like I know I just didn't like looking at it at times, but I had to for studying and just I wanted to see if I had live tells and couldn't find them, but someone will figure something out. But yeah, I never had that much footage to go through before.
Yeah. It was great to watch that final table, and I remember Govert Metal, an old man. Is he Dutch? I think. And he played so slow, and it's like it's not an online tournament. The bubble is not coming up, and it was really disturbing. But it seems like he wasn't to be disturbed by people getting annoyed, right?
He that was his strategy. He wanted to move tables. He thought our table was too tough. So he wanted to move tables, and I won't say who it was, but a very good player on that table told me he didn't mind him taking so long because he kind of agreed. So our table was quite tough at the time. Right. But I don't think you should take that long. I think he was wrong to do what he did, to be honest.
And they told him eventually, and he had to speed up. And it's like maybe they should come earlier, in my opinion. And you know, it's nothing. It must have been going on for a long time before they came up and said, "Hey, man, you have to speed up."
He was doing it when it wasn't a live stream, but you couldn't kind of catch him. But when on the live stream, you can see him with 9 deuce offsuit tanking. You know what he's doing then. He shouldn't have done it for so long. It wasn't good for me. I don't think, because I had a lot of chips at the time, but I guess it was good for him, and it worked out very well. But
it worked out for you. It worked out for you too.
True. Yeah, everything happened for a reason.
This is always a kind of, I don't know if you want to answer it. How big part of it had you split and shared with? How many percentages of the win did you have yourself? Is that something you say, or?
I don't really. I think it's out there, but I don't really say it myself. I'm going to get a nice house out of it. I'm not going to get $1 million. I had 15% swapped ish, or a little less, and then I sold some percentages. I bought straight in. I didn't have millions to be playing 5k buy-ins, to be honest. So I did sell a percentage, but I'm going to get a nice score out of it. Not $1 million. Unfortunately, I've only ever played one EPT with all of myself, so that shot didn't work out. So it's pretty common for me to sell, though. Everyone told me, "Why did you?" after, what can you do?
Yeah. I remember Martin Jakobsen when he won the 10 million. I think he said at the end that he had about half. You know.
That's a great amount, 5 million. Like it's and compared to Americans would have to pay that in taxes alone. So
he was located in London at the time, so he I think he made the 5 million, which was great. But it's good, and it's also, I mean, there's been times I know people who split in groups and so on, and maybe someone is running good for a while, but they came to that position thanks for the splits and the shares. So it's silly to complain, isn't it?
Yeah, I was delighted to give some of my friends 5%. I wish I had done more 5% to other friends, to be honest, rather than bigger chunks. But no, I was happy, and I've had a few percentages of Daniel Wilson when he's gone deep in the Irish Open and stuff, and it's fun, and it's good to keep you going. It helps with your own downswing. So I think it's smart. I've already swapped in for Paris. I've swapped out 20% in Paris, so I'm happy enough to do swaps.
Yeah. So what are the plans now going forward? It's pretty soon. When are you going to Paris?
Next Monday. I'm going to fly in for 1A and play 1B. So that's kind of what I did in Prague. So that's the plan.
Yeah, yeah. I was in Paris. Was it last year, 2 years ago? It's a good play. So you will only play the main event now, or are you playing any side events? No.
Well, hopefully just the main, right?
Yeah.
Like Prague, just one tournament, one
Oh
bullet.
yeah,
But
yeah.
no, I've planned to play the 3K mystery if I have to. Probably will have to, and I'm going to play the 10K. I've played a few 10Ks in like PCA and obviously the World Series, but I've not played a 10K at the EPT. So stepping up a little into that. That's the plan. Hopefully, I don't have to, but it'll be very hard not to be involved.
Of course, of course. Okay, okay, okay. And any attention? Did you get a lot of attention? Because that's a big win. I mean, even if you had good scores before, does it give you? I mean, I've been in the poker business for a long time. It's difficult to get into the mainstream media or attention from other places because poker is such a kind of it's like a little bubble. Is it like that still in Ireland, or did you get any attention from other media?
I Local papers were and local radio were on to me a lot, but nationally there was one guy. He came out and he did a big interview and he put it in the paper. It was a national paper. That was pretty good, but not too much outside of that. It was mostly poker outlets that were on to me. But yeah, I've said yes to every interview so far, I think, and
You're
just
not become a diva yet, have you?
no, I just said yeah, sure. Yeah, it's been interesting, the attention. Like I went to Galway and had people ask me for photos after I got knocked out. I was like, this is weird. Um, Let me
Yeah.
go. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's been different. It's been different. It's new profile.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, any plans with the you play with juicy stakes these days on your chest, and any
Yeah.
plans to do with them or just represent?
I'm representing them in Paris. We're going to be doing some vlogs and some interviews and Instagram lives. I've not done any of this, but they say they're going to help me. So for Paris and maybe the Irish Open, I'm going to be patched up with them. Irish Poker Tour as well. We're doing a little. We're going to promote. They're going to Portugal on a little holiday type event. So I'm going to promote them as well. And after that, I don't know. I've yeah, I'm having a few little talks here
Yeah,
and there,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's hard. It's hard to break into this sort of thing, like for sure. But I'm delighted. I play on juicy stakes. I'm quite happy to talk about them, and they're not very well known in some circles, so it'll be good to tell people about them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's great. That's great. No, no. I think the thing with the way you kind of do some vlogs and do some. I know Tim done a few. I've been with on quite a few trips with Juicy Steaks doing interviews and it's always fun. It's always good to get a bit more. Otherwise, sometimes you go to a tournament, you play, and you go home. It's good
Yeah.
to get some content making there. It's more makes it more memorable, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Too fit to fold.
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
a few vlogs in. Yeah, he was always out with the camera, and I was always like waving at the dinner parties. He's a lovely guy and a great host for that event. So he got to come and play that event, which was great as well for him. But yeah, I never watched Twitch. I sometimes do, sorry, but I signed up for an account and was giving them whatever my Amazon subs and whatever. I haven't done that in a while, actually. I have to get back on that.
yeah, yeah. Too fit to fold. I wish I could say that, but I think it comes to it works out a bit, Tim.
He
It's good
does. He
saying.
does. He got. We see once he has that Twitch name, he can't not work out. Like it'd be so. It'd be bad if he do, if people are like, "Why is that your name?" you know,
Yeah,
he
I
has
would,
to work out.
I would be like too unfit to fold or something like that. Okay, yeah, that's great. So otherwise, you go to Paris and then further down spring. What else are your plans? Any more EPTs and World Series, of course, eventually.
Irish Open for sure, and we'll see about Monte Carlo. I might do a shorter trip to Monte Carlo, like Prague. I was only planning to go for 4 days there, so something similar. And the World Series, I'm actually talking to a few guys about going for like 10 days because I can't go for 6 weeks or anything with the family.
No.
So 10 days is just about okay for the main event. Main event's so long, like you need 10 days, which is ridiculous. You need at least a week to play it. So yeah, I'm thinking about that. So a couple of events and then into the main, like two events and then straight into the main. So I'll end up only playing 5 or 6 tournaments, I guess. But well, hopefully, maybe I'll have to play a lot more if I don't do well in the main. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the plan.
With the separate days and starting flights, I mean, you need to be there a week to reach day 4 at least. I mean, it's day
That's
one.
the issue, yeah.
Yeah,
And jet lag, you don't want to fly in. I know David Lappin flew in for day 2 last year or the year before, and that wouldn't be for me. I'd want to be there on day 1 and not jet lag, to be honest. So it's
yeah.
yeah,
I think especially the main event. I mean, every tournament is good and slow in the start, but that is exceptional. It's like so far ahead of any tournament, other tournament you ever play. So,
yeah.
and I guess that's when you have, if you're a bit lucky with the draw, you have some pretty good hands to play during day one. You know, what stands out in the main event for you when you get there?
The main event's different than anything else because you're playing with someone and you're like, I don't think this person has played more than a few times ever. And you'll ask them, so what do you do? Just making conversation to go, I own a couple of casinos. And you're like, okay.
Okay.
That's what happens in the main event. Every year, nearly every year on day 1, there's been 1 or 2 exceptions. You can get unlucky, okay. But
Yeah.
there's always someone who's like, oh yeah, I heard it was on and decided to come down and play. I'm thinking to myself, it's 10,000 in. It's a
Yeah.
lot of money, but they're just having fun. A lot of bucket list people as well. But it's an
Yeah.
unbelievable event for a pro. People say it's the best. It is unbelievable that you have so long as well to make to play as well. 2 hour levels. It's yeah, and it is a great experience going deep in that main event. I've been lucky enough, I think, to make the money 2 or 3 times, and it's fun. I have to say, it's good.
Yeah, I've played the main event once, and I think on day 2 or on day 3, I sat for most of the day with Phil Galfond on my left, which was like, it's strange that it comes to that, but he is a PLO player. He's a good
True.
Texas player, of course he is, but he didn't have that big a stack, and he was quite silent and didn't make much noise of it. So, but that's how it is at the main event. You can be lucky and if you get a stack there, it's fun to play it.
Yeah, absolutely. On that bubble, it's unbelievable. The energy in the room is a great. I'm glad you got to play it. I think it's a great experience for people to play. It's
Yeah,
good in the poker
excellent.
world.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's an exciting year, and hopefully things are going well for you, and you get some more results. You have like after that score, are you just humble and you don't set up new goals for you? You just continue as you are.
Uh, yeah, continue as I am. I'm. I guess I'm going to play. I wasn't planning to play Paris or Monte Carlo, so I guess I am. I am going to play them tournaments now. But yeah, pretty much continuing on the same grind. Just because I have more money doesn't make me a better player. So I don't want to. I don't want to be in tough tournaments or anything. So, but there are like I've just said I was going to play the 10K in Paris, so there's a few shots in there. But yeah, just kind of similar. Maybe I'm going to say more study, less play, but yeah, I probably won't do that, but try.
If there are the new guys watching this, I mean, young people that are interested in starting, I mean, it's all different kinds of ways, and times are different now with different study methods and so on. What is a good tip for an aspiring poker player to become better, you think?
There's a lot of free content out these days, so you don't actually have to spend money, I believe. So is it Raise Your Edge or any of them guys on YouTube or BBZ? There's an awful lot of good guys, so I can't just name one, but yeah, I guess just get stuck in. Don't play above your means. So if you have $100 to play with, yeah, play away, but set your limits what you're going to lose before you start playing and have fun. If you're not having fun, there's no point. And I've always had fun playing, so like, yeah, if you're not having fun, just stop, obviously. But I guess yeah, just get stuck in, find a format that you enjoy. You might enjoy PLO, you might enjoy cash games. Sit and goes are kind of dead, but whatever you want to play. But yeah, just find something you enjoy, and you should be okay. There's lots of free content, and maybe sign up to something if you get really into it.
Yeah, I know on Juicy Steaks they sometimes have some good value satellites if you want to go to Caribbean as well, because some of the times we've been away on trips with them, they have players that aren't that experienced that kind of manage to go in a decent step program to reach the trip. Is that a good thing too, to get you started? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you want a good holiday in a warm place and watch the planes come down. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I bought into the $100 satellite, but I'm pretty sure the other guy that came, Danny, he had satellite in for $11 or $12, which $11 into a 3.5K package, you can't go wrong, can you? It's great. But if you want a holiday, yeah, absolutely. I've tried to get some of my friends to sign up with them. Some are UK based, so they couldn't. But I'll try to get the Irish guys on.
Yeah.
But it's a good holiday. It is fantastic. And the Step satellites. Read Darrow Carney's book and get yourself a cocktail.
Yeah. That's excellent. No, I'm looking forward to go away on one of those trips again. It's kind of a good, especially for us. I'm Swedish. You're Irish. It's not the best time of the year around from like
We're
October
a bit white,
to April. Yeah, we're kind of pale. What do you call it? Wider shade of pale? Is this it?
Yes, we're very pale. Yeah.
All right. It's good to talk to you, Padraig, and looking forward to see you soon and make some good content there in Paris, and we'll follow you.
I'm gonna absolutely try, and your editing skills or whoever's editing skills will be needed. But yeah, I'll try my best.
All right. Okay, so I'm looking forward to us talking again soon, and hopefully if you get some results or some progress or some news, we'll have a new talk, and I hope you're doing well and have a good trip to Paris first and foremost, and maybe win the main event in the summer. Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something. Yes, we can always dream. We can always dream. Thanks very much for having me, Ricard.
Ricard
and
is good.
Ricard. Thanks very much for having me. It's been great, and wish you continued success with the interviews. I'm joining some great guests.
Yeah, excellent. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
That was a really nice talk with Padraig O'Neill from Ireland. Good to hear from him, and we wish him good luck in Paris, of course, where he will bring us some nice vlogs and so on, hopefully. And he's a really nice guy. Soon, we're going to make another interview, of course, and in our records, there's plenty of really big names for you to look back on. So please do that, and click subscribe and like buttons if you like them. This episode was presented by UC Stakes Poker. See you soon again.